Hey everybody, this is chapter 6 of my book, Searching for the One That Won't Come Back. Chapter 6. Has George found the one? George was getting all of his stuff packed up and ready to go as he was moving out of his apartment, as he felt afraid and scared to live in that town as his dad was no longer with him. He was moving out because the area he was living in was the bad part of town with tons of crime, sex offenders, and those that want to cause harm, along with those that are drug dealers and users. He started putting everything in black garbage bags and boxes so he could fill his old beat-up car that had a water pump that needed to be replaced, and it would cause the car to overheat. He had 2 cats and 1 rabbit, and he truly didn't want to get rid of them, as he truly loved them. But he had no choice, as the place he was moving to did not have enough room for the 3 of his pets. To this day, George still cannot believe that this is too real, and he had to get rid of his pets along with the loss of his dad, as George Sr. was a rock and a leader. He knew exactly what to do. After getting all settled in and away from his old apartment, he started to wonder where it all went wrong in his life, as he knew that his dad was an alcoholic. But he refused to accept the fact that his dad was completely gone and he will never be able to see him again until death. For a brief period of 2 months, George gave up alcohol as he was beyond angry with alcohol and did not want anything to do with it, as alcohol killed his dad. He started attending church again, but it just wasn't enough for him, as he needed more guidance on what to do, as he was back on his own again without his dad. He didn't know what to do anymore, to where he would just accept any idea that would come into his head, which was not the smartest thing in the world. The car that he was driving was getting fixed by a neighbor, but it wouldn't last long more than 3 or 4 months, as the car was back to being in a state where it would overheat again. Turns out the thermostat was replaced when his dad was still alive. That thermostat was sticking to where it would cause the issue of overheating, and that was making George more anxiety-ridden to where it would have no heat at all. The most miles within a day that George put on that car was 104 miles round trip. It was a great gas saver, but it was not a truck, as George was used to only owning pickup trucks. Not long, George would be back in a pickup, as he was able to get a loan with his bank and bought a truck from a friend. George was able to get a girlfriend a week or 2 after his dad passed away, and it resulted in where he only wanted a friend with benefits, as George was tired of being celibate after not being able to get any action after his ex-wife was arrested. His girlfriend, Marie, lived all the way across the state, and George was hoping for a great and long-lasting relationship, but he feared that he would be hurt again and not be able to trust another female when it came to dating. George got Marie to be his girlfriend during the process of him moving out of his apartment. At first, they were going steady in the relationship, and Marie was not used to going slow. George was taking the relationship slow as he knew that anything could happen and did not want to ruin it or take it too fast, as most of his relationships were either toxic or he was moving on too fast to where it would scare them away. He decided to try the smartest thing out there and take it slow, but Marie was not used to going slow, as she was very active when it came to the category of love. Without George knowing, Marie would be cheating on George by getting multiple girlfriends, to where she was with 4 different women at the same time, along with George. She herself was abused and knew what it would feel like to be cheated on from her past relationships. She basically did not know how to handle being in a loving relationship until she met George. Within time, George found out that Marie was cheating on him, and he was not happy at all, as a big percentage of the women he was with would cheat on him, and he later went into a depressive slump and went to thinking that he would be in a relationship again and got himself into a mindset to where he would not be trusting any more females that came his way and that all women are cheaters on their partners. It took a lot of time and encouragement to get him out of that mindset so he can be happy and try to find another girlfriend that will love him for him and to accept him on how weird he will be. With time, he managed to get back together with Maria as she sincerely apologized to him. He honestly never thought about getting back together with Maria, but they were together again for another month, and the cycle repeats for 8 more times by every month of the year, as she was a serial cheater. Him and her began really talking about the issues that led to the point where she would be cheating on him a lot, and it was mostly because George was so clingy, obsessive, and possessive. And lots of people were thinking that they were not right for each other, but they later proved everyone to be wrong, as they were making plans to see each other for Thanksgiving. The one thing that made Maria especially cheat on George was the fact that he was a drunk, just like his old man. And she could not handle another drunk, as her family is nothing but drunks and drug addicts. The main reason that George went back to alcohol and became an alcoholic, as he was dealing with a very stressful situation to where he would be using alcohol as a medication to be the crutch to make him happy, as he was only a problem drinker. But the problem drinking led to a full-blown alcoholic, as he was drinking cases of beer within a day, to where he was drinking all of his problems away. He was drinking up to 2 bottles of spirits a day. He was drinking up to 2 bottles of spirits a day to 1 or 2 cases of beer within 48 hours. Marie did not like knowing that George was slowly killing himself, so she gave him an ultimatum, and that was to either give up alcohol entirely or she would leave him. With the ultimatum of those choices, George decided to give up the alcohol, as he knew that alcoholism split up his parents, and he did not want to lose a girlfriend from his own decision to continue drinking. Maria was very happy that George would be giving up the alcohol, and that made her love him a whole lot more than George ever thought she loved him. It made George question if he has truly found the one for him, as a woman has never been that compassionate and caring, to where no woman has ever shown George that much love to ask him to stop drinking, as it was killing himself. George started going to Alcoholics Anonymous meetings, and that has been helping him not drink, as he wanted the desire to quit drinking before it could hurt a relationship or harm himself, and he did not want alcohol to cause harm. He purchased books from the website and was casually reading them every time he had an urge to drink. The closest thing that George would have to drink would be soda, tea, juice, water, even non-alcoholic beer, as the non-alcoholic beer would do no harm at all, as it would contain no trace of alcohol. He has been tempted to drink, and he kept turning down so many requests to drink to where he was shocked himself that he was turning down the requests when it would be present. George was feeling so much better without the alcohol, and over time, his shakiness would be gone. His cravings for alcohol were very faint and non-existent, to where he would not be thinking about alcohol, as it would only bring back bad feelings that he did not ever want to experience again. Alcohol is expensive, and that was hurting the wallet, and he was saving a lot of money that he himself did not know he had. George finally found the one female that would be right for him, and he didn't ever want to let her go, as she was helping him for the better, so that way he can live a long and healthy life, and to possibly have kids of his own. Alcohol is nothing but trouble, as there is no good excuse or reason for alcohol. It is very harmful and addictive, and to this day, he wishes he would never have touched the stuff in the first place. Now, he just drinks water and occasionally will use smokeless tobacco to unwind, especially with exercise. Chapter 7 will be back in about 3 to in about 3 to 6 months. I need time to keep writing this. But if you like this, don't forget to leave a like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss any of my content. Make No Entertainment signing off.